Hello, it's great to see you. I'm glad you could join this Qigong session for fire and water. We'll be doing some moves that help with the fire element and with the water element. So we'll be able to cultivate those two elements within our bodies, and we will also be able to balance it out. So let's get started. Wave breathing, one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. When you inhale, let the belly expand into the ribs expanding and the chest. You get a little pause at the top of the inhale. Exhale, sink the chest, the ribs, the belly. Soften the knees, around the hips, shoulders. And just feel this nice full breath. It's like a wave coming onto the shore with your inhale, a little pause, and then the wave goes back out to the sea with the exhale, and another little pause. Let's continue that wave breathing with a movement. Round your arms, palms up, come up to the chest, then palms spiral downward, exhale down. Sometimes this is called the fire water breath. It's like we're bringing up the water to the heart center just to calm it down if we have excess heart fire. And then we bring that fire actually back down to the belly. We want some fire in the belly. That's all about your metabolism and a great connection between the intelligence of the heart and the intelligence of the gut. Nice inhale and exhale. Let's do some clearing with tossing the stone. You're going to bend and straighten your legs with a little bit of a bounce. The arms are just going to drop, but the arms are going to go like this. One in the back, one in the front. Come to center, get a little sip of inhale through the nose. Exhale when you turn and drop the arms. Here we go. Now, this is just a general clearing movement, but it does relate to the heart center, which is all about that fire element. Your heart energy is not only in the front, where you might think of it usually, it's in the back between the shoulder blades. This movement helps to open up between those shoulder blades, allowing us to cultivate good heart energy, good for that fire element. Now, additionally, since this is a clearing movement and activation, we want to set that intention, tossing the stone, tossing out the heaviness from the emotional center, the heart center, and also from the mind. Do a few more. And slow it down, slow it down. There's a movement from the animal frolics. Monkey washes the fruit, and the monkey has to do with the heart energy, very playful. And this one will help activate the heart meridian and pericardium meridian. So just act as if you are washing the fruit. Monkey washes the fruit. Shake out those arms. And just breathe naturally. We'll do a few of these. We're going to add a little something to this. Monkey snatches the fruit. So get ready to try to come up on your toes. Just lift your heels slightly as you bring your arms in. Come up. Inhaling. Exhale, turn, balance. Come to center. Exhale, turn. Come to center. And down. Wash the fruit a little bit more. That coming up on the toes is very challenging. You can practice coming up on your toes, lifting your heels by holding on to something. Every day you can do that. And that opens the bubbling springs, that kidney 1 point in your foot. And then just slow it down. Notice that energy pouring through your arms. Great stuff. More activation here with knocking on the door of life. So slightly bend the knees and turn from the hips and the waist. The door of life is in line with the navel on the back, though, the spine. And it's the Ming Men point. I love to say that. Ming Men point. Let your arms be nice and loose and your shoulders relaxed. And you can go at your pace. If you want to take this very slow, you can. But we're knocking on that point. We're also knocking on the kidneys. And the kidneys have everything to do with the water element. Breathe naturally. Feel that nice rotation in the spine with this movement. And now you can add a heel lift and a weight shift. Get a little more energy pumping through the legs. And you can sink it down and bring it up as much as you want. You might have to slow it down as I'm demonstrating if you want a little more of a squat into it. So you do what feels right for you. Once you begin to practice Qigong consistently, you really become very aware of what your body responds to, what you want to do with your practice. And slow it down, plant the feet. Just notice how you feel after that activation. And I want us just to take our palms and I want you to just rub in circles on those kidneys. Rub in circles. You can even just go up and down, however you want to have the movement to vigorously Massage those kidneys and feel that warmth. Now, what's interesting is there's a lot of heart energy in our palms. So right now, see how we're working with the fire and water element here by working with the heart energy and the kidney energy. And slow it down. Just notice how you feel after that. That always feels good. Rub that lower back anytime you wish. You can do that seated, you can do it standing. All right. The next thing we want to do is ignite inner fire. So have a slightly wider stance. Bring those palms together. First, just rub those palms. Like I just said, a lot of heart energy in those palms. And so we're going to create some warmth. The warmth is literally warming up the body, but also the warmth is just more of a spiritual type thing of igniting your inner fire in relationship to your light, your inner light. Now, turn the palms and then shift the weight to the right. Bring that elbow up and back and let your chin and shoulder touch. You can say your chin kisses your shoulder there. And then sink it down, turn the palms, come over to the other side. Everything's the same with those mechanics. Sink it down, bring it up and back. Now, there's not a synchronized breath with this one. Breathe naturally. Let your head be on a swivel. You're not trying to look directly left and right. You're more looking at an angle, letting that shoulder meet the chin. And the more you squat down and bring it back up, the more intense you can make this movement. So once again, you do what's right for you. If you don't really want a bend in the knees and you would rather just shift left and right, that's perfect. Breathing. Also go at your pace. You'll feel a warmth in your hands. This will begin to flow through the body. Nice warmth for your muscles, tendons, joints, the organs. Just a few more. If you like this movement, it's really good to do in sets. We're going to follow this with heart to sky, heart to earth breathing. Those two alternating are a really good set. Ignite inner fire and heart to sky, heart to earth. Just a few more. One more each side. Come to center. And then heart to sky, inhale. Heart to earth, exhale. Sink it down. Expand that chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. All right, bring those feet a little closer together. We're going to do a nice meridian stretch. This is also sometimes called the arrow. I'm going to turn it at an angle just so that you can see my arching. So the first thing is to bring those palms together at the heart center. And you can even let those knuckles press into the sternum and just make a little circle. Good pressure point there for balancing emotional energy. Now, let all your fingers except for your index fingers lace, and then bring it up. Here's where I'm going to show you that you can arch it back a bit. You're bending a little bit like an arrow. And then bring the heels of the hands towards the crown and just sink it down. Bring it down to the earth. Now you just go to the level that feels right for you. Then press through the soles of the feet and come back up. That's your inhale, arch, make your arrow. Exhale down. So here we're thinking about energy all through the body. It's a bit of a move of integration with what we've done so far. But we'll also have a couple of things here where we hit the water element and the fire element. Inhale. Exhale. Connecting with that energy above, then bringing it through us. Connecting with the energy of the earth and bringing it up by moving the body in this fashion. It's also called a meridian stretch, so getting a good stretch of all the meridians. One more, up. And now unlace the fingers and just a nice forward fold. The knees can be slightly bent. Fold it over and let the head, neck, shoulders relax. Breathe. Then round your arms, lace your fingers, and pull up. Inhaling. Bring it up above. And then try to lift those heels. Come on the toes. Raise the bubbling springs. And then down. Maybe take a step out and lean, stretch, press through those palms, breathe in and out. Over to the other side, press through the palms, stretch, breathe in and out. Come in the middle, press through the palms. And then exhale, arms down. Press those palms out, flexing the wrist, pull back just a little bit, tuck the chin, relax the knees, and then lean ear to shoulder. Lean ear to shoulder and breathe in. Exhale through the mouth. Over to the other side, nice and easy. Press through those palms. Sometimes that kind of is uncomfortable. Try to get through that. Breathe in and out. Head up, nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Ooh, that really sends good energy through the arms. Awesome. All right. The next movement is called Reeds in the River. Reeds in the River. And sweep the earth, sweep the sky. We're combining two movements. Let me show you the sweep the earth first. After we do reeds in the river, we'll go right into a forward fold. You'll be folded all the way over and you'll just sweep crisscross like this all the way down. Then you'll come up and you'll sweep the sky. So very simple, you'll be ready for that. Reeds in the river, round one arm, round the other arm. You're gonna feel a little bit like a ballerina. So lean and get a nice stretch here in the side body. We're nice and warmed up. This shouldn't feel too tight now, but if it still does, that's fine. I'm still a little bit tight. So just ease into it and just let your ear fall towards your shoulder, nice and relaxed. Then around in a circle and over to the other side. Inhale when you circle around. Exhale when you stretch and relax into that stretch. Breathe in and out. Now, let your knees be slightly bent and you can even tuck your tailbone just a little bit, take pressure off that lower back. So here, we're bringing in that water element. Sometimes the movement in itself, just bringing in maybe that feeling of water and that visualization of water can help you cultivate that water element in the body. Stay with your breath and just be the reeds. Reeds in the river flowing, bending. We'll do a few more. This really gives a nice stretch to the side body there. And whenever you stretch the side body, you're really helping the mechanics of the breath. One more each side. And then bring those arms out. Forward fold. Sweep the earth. Bring it up nice and slow. Inhaling. Sweep the sky. Sweep the earth. Exhaling. Breathe in. Sweep the sky. A few more of these. Last one. Sweep the earth and sweep the sky. And arms down, exhaling. All right. The next movement is nourishing life. So a wider stance, and you're going to squat into it, okay? Kind of just sit into it. You can even tuck the tailbone just a little bit, at least drop the tailbone. Crown lifted to the sky. Now, if you've got something going on with your knees, you can just have knees slightly bent, and that's fine. Or find the level of squatting that works for you. Of course, the further down that you are, the more intense the movement. So that's where you decide what works for you. Now, you're going to turn and act as if you're looking at the outside of your ankle. You're going to hinge at the waist. Then act as if you're drawing a line with your nose. Come over to the other side as if to look at the outside ankle, and then come up. Back down. Exhaling when you draw the line. Inhaling when you come up, your chest is open. Now get solid on your feet here. Solid on your feet. You don't need to bring your head too far over. Feel a good balance in the soles of the feet and between where your head is and your bum, your hips that are gliding back. Breathing is very important during this one. Really bring in the breath. Now, if you've got your squat down a little further, you're going to really feel that in the quadriceps. That's a good thing. Keep those quadriceps strong for fall prevention. Now, the reason this one's called Nourishing Life, because you're probably wondering why, is yeah, we're working with the strengthening the legs here, but you're feeling this probably in that lower back area with the kidneys, okay? So nourishing life, i.e. nourishing the kidneys, they're getting a little bit of massage here. You're kind of stretching them and you're turning. Then you come up and you are hinging at the waist now, and there's a lot of movement there for the kidneys. We'll do just a few more. This is another good one to do in sets if you like it. Do, maybe the way your body is, you'd rather just do maybe about 6 of these, 3, in each direction, and then straighten your legs and give them a break and do a breathing exercise like heart to sky, heart to earth, and then go back and do a few more of these. Last one. Now bring it back down and come to center. You can straighten the legs a little bit and forward fold. Again, let the head, neck, shoulders just surrender to Earth's gravity. Breathe. Then bend the knees and hold the back of one of your hands as you roll up slowly and inhale. You might get a little rush of energy. Just breathe in, breathe in. Exhale out and around. Right. Scissor those feet in. And we're ready to do some bouncing, integrate everything we've done again thus far, and then go into some flows. So bounce into those heels and pump those arms. A good thing to do when you're bouncing, or sometimes this is called shaking, is to focus on the joints and just really feel how, okay, excuse me, my knees are bouncing. So you got those relaxed and bouncing, my hips and around the tailbone, my wrist, elbows, shoulders, and the base of skull. You can also zero in on your shoulder blades bouncing and your rib cage bouncing. Now let's do that nice wave breathing. Breathe in, belly, ribs, chest, and sigh it out. Ah. That sigh is the heart healing sound. Breathe in. Get a nice release. Now, the heart, of course, is connected to the circulatory system. So when we think about the heart and the fire element, we can also think about the blood flow. This movement helps with your blood circulation and also circulating energy. Oxygen, that breath coming in. Now, something also good for circulation is opening the wrist gates. So palms up and feel a little more deliberate flapping of the hands here, opening up the inner wrist gates. And then palms down, opening up the outer wrist gates. A lot of pressure points there for the heart and the pericardium. And then back to your standard bouncing, another breath in and out. And slow it down, slow it down. And just feel that nice tingly, buzzy feeling and the energy flowing. Just know you've already got a real good balance of your fire and water. Now, let's open the flow. So, palms down. Let the wrists float up as if they're lifted by a string, and inhaling down as if they're lowered by a string, and exhaling. You can sink in the knees a bit and then rise, get some movement in the legs. Now, if you've got any tense areas hanging on, bring that visualization of water into play. First, visualize that tense area as a block of ice. Let's bring in that fire, the sun. Let the sun melt that ice area into water and let it just flow now as good energy through the body. And you can do that visualization and setting that intention several times while we're doing open the flow. All right. Now we're going to continue this in a different fashion. Let's bring it up again and down. Come back on that left foot. Now we've got a staggered stance. We're going to shift forward and come up on the toe in the back there, and then shift back, and you're back on the heel. So when we do the open the flow in this fashion, it is making waves. So you can have a little more going on here with a coming up and a coming back down. Really feel the whole body as if you're making waves. You can bring that heel down when you come back. Bring the heel up. Anytime we come up on the toes, we're helping to open the bubbling springs right there in the bottoms of the feet. So we've still got an open the flow motion, but we're making waves, bringing in that water imagery. We'll do one more on this side. And bring that foot up, and now bring the other foot back and just continue. Shift forward, come up on those back toes, bring it down, and just make adjustments wherever you need to feel balanced. Anytime we stand in this staggered stance, we are working on our balance or kind of strengthening for balance. Without standing on one leg. Stay with your breathing, inhale. And once again, you can kind of sink more into it, rise more into it, really feel that you're making waves, moving that water. Sometimes people call this pushing waves. We'll do one more. Bring that back foot up again. We'll take it straight into the fountain. Glide the hips back, slightly bend the knees. Hands are back to back. Bring them up. Bring those hips forward. Just come to about the collarbone. Out and around and down. Glide the hips back. Bend the knees slightly. Spiral hands back to back. Hips glide forward. So you've got this gliding hips back, gliding hips forward, bending knees, straightening knees, and letting your arms come up and around. It's a whole body movement, not just the arms. Inhale when you float up. Exhale when you float down. Now here, just be the fountain. Be the water. This one, again, is great for the kidneys as we glide the hips forward and glide the hips back. Again, you're providing a nice massage for the kidneys, nice movement. It's good for us to do that because the kidneys are not an organ that is like a muscle and it doesn't really have a pump. The heart, however, does. So we're massaging the kidneys, helping them get movement. Bringing in that water element. Inhaling as you float the arms up to about the collarbone. Exhaling out and around. We'll do a couple more. And out and around. And just notice how you feel. Take a nice deep breath. And now we'll work on some cloudy hands. So round your arms. Let the left arm float down. Shift the weight to the right. Turn slightly to the right and then change your hand position. Glide and float over to the left and turn a bit. Change your hand position. Feel yourself sink into the sole of the right foot and then sink into the sole of the left foot as you glide to one side and the other. Let there be an imaginary string from your nose to that thumb, helping you float gracefully to one side and the other. Now check on your arms and shoulders. Let them be comfortable. Your arms don't have to be rounded out too far in front and they don't have to be too high. So check on that for yourself. Inhale as you float one way. Exhale as you float the other way. Now, I love this movement for the heart energy. That upper hand is passing right by the heart and heart center. Sometimes this movement is called moving clouds. So it's as if we're moving clouds across the chest, softening. We want that nice heart fire, but that doesn't have to be harsh. It's a nice, warm, gentle fire, if that makes sense. Nice, warm, gentle flame there for your heart center. Soften the chest. Sometimes that gets really tight with emotions that are stressful. Now that lower hand, this is the interesting part. The lower hand is like it's moving through water. Or I like to think maybe the bottom of the clouds where there might be a little more water. You know, those clouds are made of water. So this is a great movement for fire and water at the same time. You just inhale as you float one way and exhale as you float the other way. You probably were naturally doing that. We'll do a couple more. Cloudy hands, or as I said, sometimes it's called moving clouds. And I like the thought of that. Last one. Come to the center, and we'll close with waterfall. Arms out at an angle and palms up. Then fingers point down and fingers back to back down through the midline. Then spiral those palms up again. Inhale. Exhale. This is a nice centering move, but we're bringing in that visualization of water again. Right down the midline. You can also just feel that your water falling the energy through you. You're gathering it, then waterfall it right through the mind, through the heart center, and let it land in a sacred pool right there at the body center. Inhaling, exhale, calm thoughts, balanced emotions, relaxed body, yet vital and energetic. You're going to get more energy with a relaxed body than a stressed body. Breathing in, feeling lifted. Breathing out, bringing it down, feeling grounded and centered. One more. And bring your feet a little closer together. Place your hands right there on that lower dantian. Soften the knees. Really just kind of sink into those ankles. You're standing straight, but not straight as a stick. And just allow your body to rock and sway like seaweed in the ocean. Seaweed in the ocean. Gracefully moving. Just breathe naturally. And hands by your sides. And take this wonderful balanced feeling with you of your fire and water with you the rest of the day. Bye for now. I'll see you next time.